We continue now at the top of Daf Samech Vav Amud Aleph and Meseches Shabbos. This is Shabbos Daf 66a. We're in the middle of the Mishnah here. The Mishnah just said that the Kita, somebody who's an amputee, he can go out with the stump that he's using for his foot, and that's not a problem. Rabbi Yossi Oser. However, Rabbi Yossi says it's a problem. He's not allowed to go out with that on Shabbos. Rashi explains, Rabbi Yossi Oser, Delav Tachshetu. It's not considered an adornment for him, so he can't wear it. V'im yeshlo beis kibul kisisin tamei. Then the Mishnah says, if it has a place to accept the pads, then this item is tamei. Rashi says, v'im yeshlo beis kibul kisisin shenechak bo. It's carved k'dei kibul kisisin shel begadim rachim, in order to be a receptacle for the pads, the soft clothing, umuchen, and the pads lahaniach rosh shokwa alein. That's what he would put the end of his foot on. So then already it's considered something with a beis kibul, and it's makabel tumah. And then the Mishnah continues, smuchos shelo tamein. If he has smuchos, so Rashi explains over here, smuchos shelo, smuchos shel kita, yesh kita b'shtei raglov, mahalech al shokov yal arkavosa, va'osa smuchos shel or l'shokov. Sometimes you have somebody who's a double amputee, he has no feet at all, so he puts these leather, again, it's kind of like leather supports or leather pads underneath his feet, so those, the Mishnah says those are Tamei, and those are considered Tamei and Medris, rather. They're considered Tamei Medris. Rashi says Tamei and Medris imzavhu. Let's say this guy is also a Zav, so he causes Tumas Medris. That's Tumah when he's on top of something, it's supporting him. Because the whole point of this thing is to hold up his body. Medris hazav osa ava Tumah. The halacha by Medris is, and by normal Tumah, by Maga, you touch something, you just make it a Rishon. The Zav himself is an Ava Tumah, touches something, makes it a Rishon. But over here, when it's Tumas Medris, so then the Smuchin would actually become, the Smuchos would actually become Ava Tumah as well through Tumas Medris. Then the Mishnah continues, V'yotzen ben b'Shabbos. You're also allowed to go out with these Smuchos on Shabbos, Rashi says, because it's a Tachshit. V'nechnasen bohen ba'azara, and also you could even enter into the Azara with them. Rashi here explains, V'nechnasen bohen la'azara, da'afagav d'tanan lo yikanis adam la'harabayis b'minalo. Even though the Mishnah says that a person's not allowed to enter harabayis with shoes on, Hani lav minol ninhu delav barosh raglo. And these are not considered shoes at all because they're not really at the end of his normal foot. So therefore, it's not a problem of being nichnas into the azara with shoes on. Then it says, the Mishnah says, kisei usmucha shalo. Let's say he has a chair also with smucha. So in addition to having the smuchos, he also has a chair that helps him along. So then Tamei and Medris, again, they're Tamei Medris. Ve'ein yotzen ben b'Shabbos. You're not allowed to go out with these things on Shabbos. They're not exactly the same as Smuchos. Rashi will explain that. Ve'ein nichnasen ben ba'azara. You're not allowed to enter the Azara. Apparently they are considered shoes. And then finally the Mishnah ends, luktamin tahorin ve'ein yotzen ben. Luktamin artar. We'll see Rashi what that means. And you're not allowed to go out with that on Shabbos as well. Rashi here explains, kisei yesh kita sheyavshu v'chavtzu gidei shokav afilu al arkavosu ve'enu yachal elech. Sometimes the feet are so damaged that he can't even walk on the knees at all. Va'osim kamin kisei namuch v'yoshev alav. He makes like a low chair to sit on. Ukashu mahalech nismach al yada b'safsalim ketanim v'oker guf min haaretz. He kind of picks himself up with his hands. V'nidchaf lefanav v'chozer v'nach al achorav v'hakisei kosher lo me'achorav. This chair is tied to him. And then smuchos shel osokita osalo smuchos shel oro shel eitz l'rashi shokov oraglav hatzluyin, because he's got his feet are hanging over, so he needs some kind of leather on them, some kind of support. He uses his feet a little bit. So it said on those items, so he says, our rabbis explain, the reason why you can't go out with these things on Shabbos is because they're not so necessary. Rashi doesn't like that reason. Rashi gives another reason, maybe since they're hanging, they're not really placed solidly on the ground. Sometimes they're going to fall off. You're going to come to carry. Rashi says that you can't go in the Azara with it when it's with a chair, because that is considered shoes. And finally, the Mishnah says, Luktamin, Rashi says, Talmashka nasin lischok lahavis tinok. It seems to be some kind of mask that's worn for a joke or to scare children, whatever the case may be. So those items are tahorim ilakabel tumah de'eno lokli tashmish below tachshit. They're not considered a kli, so they're not makabel tumah, and also you can't go out with it on Shabbos because it's not considered a tachshit either. It's not considered to be an adornment. So the Gemara says as follows: Amar le Rav Rav Nachman. Rav said to Rav Nachman, Heichi Tanan. How do we learn the Mishnah? We're going to continue reading. Rashi explains it, but we'll see it as we go on here. What does it mean? How do we learn the Mishnah? Amar le lo yadana. He said, I don't know. Then he said to him, Hilchas Amai. What's the halacha? Amar le lo yadana. He said back to him, I don't know. So then the Gemara says, Itzmar, it was learned, Amar Shmuel learned the Mishnah, Ein Hakita, that the way you should learn it is that the amputee cannot go out with the stump that he's using, and then according to that, Rabbi Yossi would actually be matir. So you could already see from this part of the Gemara, what the Gemara was questioning was, maybe we should have it opposite of what it says in our Mishnah. The way it says in our Mishnah is, the Tanna Kama is the one who's lenient, Rabbi Yossi is the one who's strict. So Shmuel is saying, no, you should actually learn it the reverse. Rabbi Yossi then becomes the matir. V'chein Amar Rav Huna ein hakita. Rav Huna said the same thing. Amar Rav Yosef said, Ho'av Amar Shmuel ein hakita, v'Amar Rav Huna ein hakita, since they both had the same text, Anon nami nisni ein hakita, we should have the same text as well. So Rashi here explains, Hechi tanan hakita yotze v'Rav Yossi oser, o ein hakita yotze v'Rav Yossi matir. Exactly what we said. That's the issue. Is the text that the Tanna Kama is lenient, or is the text that the Tanna Kama is strict? Gemara now continues. Maskif lo Rava bar Shira. Rava bar Shira asked the following question: Lo shmiel luhu hadamasni le Rav Chanan bar Rava l'chia bar Rav kamei de Rav b'kituna devei Rav. Did you not hear what was taught by Rav Chanan bar Rava to Chia bar Rav in front of Rav in the kituna devei Rav, where he said as follows? He said, Ein hakita yotze b'kav shalo divrei Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yossi matir. He had Rabbi Meir, essentially the position of the Tanna Kama in our Mishnah, saying to be strict, and then Rabbi Yossi was lenient. Umachvi le Rav ipuch, and in that story, Rav actually said, no, reverse it, meaning reverse it back to the text that we actually have. So therefore, it seems to be not like what we're concluding. It seems like the text that we have in our Mishnah is actually accurate, and Rabbi Yossi is in fact strict. So Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, and Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said, V'simona samach samach. He says the way that you can remember this is samach samach. We'll see Rashi what that siman is. And the Gemara says, V'av Shmuel hader, even Shmuel changed his mind and said that the original text in our Mishnah is actually correct. It's not because we learned in the Mishnah. This is regarding chalitza. It says chalza besandal she'eno shalo, besandal shalates, o shal smol biyamin. Let's say she does chalitza with a shoe that's not his. It's a shoe made out of wood, or maybe it's a shoe that's really a left shoe, but it's on the right foot. So chalitza kshera, the chalitza is kosher, meaning it doesn't have to be an exact shoe. V'amrinan, and we say over there, Mantana, who is the author? Amar Shmuel. So Shmuel said, Rabbi Meir, that's Rabbi Meir, who says that a shoe does not have to be an exact shoe in our Mishnah. Tetanan, because we learned in our Mishnah, Hakita yotze b'kav shelo divrei Rabbi Meir, that a kita is able to go out with the stump according to Rabbi Meir. So again, you see that the text that Shmuel had was that Rabbi Meir was the mekel. Rabbi Yossi Oser, and Rabbi Yossi says it's Oser. And the Gemara continues, V'af Rav Huna hader, even Rav Huna changed his mind. The Tanya, because we learned in a brisa, Sandal shel sayadin tamei medris. If you have a shoe that's for the sayad and the people that sell plaster, it's tamei medris, it's like a real shoe. V'isha choletzes bo, and again a woman can use it for chalitza. V'yotzin bo b'Shabbos, divrei Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva says you could also go out with it on Shabbos. That's Rabbi Akiva's opinion, that it's essentially a real shoe. V'lo hodulo, and they did not admit, the Chachamim did not admit that this is correct. Ay v'atanya hodulo, but there's another brayso which says they did admit that this is correct. And Amar Rav Huna said, Man hodulo Rabbi Meir. Who's the one that says they admitted? Who's the lenient opinion? It's Rabbi Meir, again consistent with the text of our Mishnah. Uman lo hodulo Rabbi Yossi. And who's the one that did not admit? It is Rabbi Yossi. So you take a look at Rashi over here in the last few sections. First of all, Rashi says Kituna was cheder katan shel beis hamedrash. It was a small room in the beis medrash. That's what the Gemara means when it said, the Gemara over here said that Rav, it was in front of Rav, b'kituna debei Rav. So again, it means the small room in the beis medrash of Rav. And then the Gemara said the siman was samech samech. Rabbi Yossi oser. Rabbi Yossi with a samech says oser. Shtei tevos sheyesh ben samech samach zu etzel do that. So you remember both words have a samech. Then the Gemara said, "O shall small be yamin." You put the left shoe on the right foot. Sandal shall small nal be yamin. Again, the left shoe on the right foot. V'cholza you do chalitza. The chalitza be yaminhu. The gama regel mimitzor, because chalitza needs to be done generally on the right shoe. Man tana the sandal shall eitz chashav na'alo. The key issue over here always is that it's a wooden shoe, just like the stump in our Mishnah, and that's the same thing with the sandal shall sayad. And Rashi says, Mochre sidu kashemisaskin bo noel inosova shall eitzu. Again, it's made out of wood. Mnesha sid soref as or, because if it would be made out of leather, it would be burned by the sid. And the Gemara now continues with an alternate opinion. Amar Rav Yosef, they change the text to Rav Yosef. Amar Rav Yosef argues with Rav Huna, and he says as follows: Man lo hodu lo Rav Yochanan ben Nuri. Who's the opinion that does not admit it's actually Rav Yochanan ben Nuri? That's not because we learned in the Mishnah, Kiveres shel kash ushvoferes shel kanim. If you have a chest that's made out of straw, or you have a tube that's made out of reeds, Rabbi Akiva mitame, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri mitar. Rabbi Akiva says it's tame, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri says it's tar, meaning according to Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, it's just like the case of the shoe. It's not considered a shoe, or in this case, it's not considered a proper kli. Rashi gives two explanations of this here. For Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri Mitayr, what's the comparison between this chest and the tube and the shoe? So first Rashi says, Delav ur chalasos mikash. It's not normal to make the chest out of straw. Elo mikonim, normally made out of reeds. Uminol nami lav urche meitz. Same thing by minol, it's not normally made out of wood. So according to this, the comparison that Rav Yosef is making between Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri and our issue with the shoe is that they're both items that are not normally made out of these materials. Rashi gives his own explanation. Velinir, a sandal shel sayadin shel kashu. He thinks that the sandal of sayadin is actually made out of straw, not out of wood. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, mitar b'kli kash delav eitz nenu. According to this approach, Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri would essentially be saying that kli kash, in general, are Torah, they're not considered eitz, and that's the consistency that Rabbi Yosef finds between Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri and this same opinion when it comes to the sandal shel sayadin. Gemara now says, Omar Mar, the master said, sandal shel sayadin tami medris. It said that the sandal of sayadin is tami medris. When you walk around on it, you lean on it, it's considered, you use it as a support, it's tameh. The Gemara says, Halavli lucha avdi, what are you talking about? They didn't make these shoes for the purpose of walking at all. Amar Ravacha bar Ravula sheken asayid mitayel bo'at shemagila beso. It's not true. The Sayyid would actually use this to wear until he got to his house, so he would actually use this for walking purposes. The Mishnah then continued, Vim yeshlo beis kibul kasis and tameh. If it has an area, a receptacle for the pads, then this stump is considered tameh. Amar Abaye says, tameh tumas meis. The ain tameh medris. Abaye says it's tameh tumas meis. However, it's not tumas medris. It's not considered a support. Rava Amar af tameh medris. Rava says no. It's even considered to be a support. It's tameh medris. Amar Rava minoah minallah. Rava says, where can I give you a proof? It's not. We learned in the Mishnah. Agola shel katan tameh medris. It says that if you have a wagon of a miner that's tameh medris, that should be comparable. We'll see Rashi. That should be comparable to this case. The Abaye responds, Hasam samachi lave, there you're really leaning on it. Hachalo samachi lave, here you're not leaning on it. Amar Abaye, and Abaye says, Minoah minallah, where can I bring you a proof? To Tanya, because we learned in a brayso, Makol shel zakenim tar miklum. The staff that old people have is totally tar. The Rava, and Rava says back to that case, Hasam over there, and we'll see Rava's answer on the next Amud, but first let's take a look at Rashi here. So Rashi says, Agola shel katan letzachik ba v'letaltalu aleh. It's an agola, it's a little wagon that they used to play on. Tamei meres holu pamim sheyoshev aleh v'hainami zimnin de mistamech aleh. These are things that you sometimes, just like that, you sometimes sit on it. This is also something that you sometimes use to lean on it. And then Rashi explains Abaye's proof from the case of the cane that the old person is walking on. Tar miklom lo medris v'lo shartum. It's not tamei at all, not medris or any kind of tumah. Lo matami medris mishum delav lesmicha of it. It's not made for leaning on. Shal raglam halach. Really, the old person is walking on his feet. The alpha gav the mistamech alel leprakim, even though he leans on it sometimes, it's still not an issue. Ushar tumanami lo de pshute kliyetzu. Regarding other types of tuma, it's pshute kliyetz. It has no receptacle, and therefore it's not tamei. Alma, you see, alpha gav the zimnin the mistamech aleh hol ve'ikra siyasa ein lakach ein tmei medris. He says, you see that since even though it's made to sometimes lean on, since the main thing is not for that purpose, it is not considered tamei medris. And again, we'll see Rava's response in the next video on Daf Samech Vav Amud Beis.